What if saying no is not rejection, but courage? What if walking away from something familiar is the first step toward true growth? Today on News Star CN, we uncover the truth behind Li Xian's surprising remarks about Yongzi, words that shook the internet, divided fans, and yet revealed something much deeper about artistry, respect, and the beauty of moving forward. Stay with us, because this is not just another headline. It's a story about choices, maturity, and the hidden strength behind one of China's most beloved acting duos. It only takes a single sentence to ignite a storm. During what seemed like an ordinary interview, Li Xian leaned slightly forward, his expression carrying a hint of playfulness, and let slip the words that would soon ripple across the entertainment world. Yongzi is usually too strict. Maybe I wouldn't consider a third collaboration. In another context, spoken with familiar laughter and shared memories, these words might have been taken as nothing more than gentle teasing between colleagues who understand each other well. Yet once the cameras had captured them and the microphones had amplified them, the line took on a life of its own. Within hours, it was clipped, repeated, reshaped, and hurled across countless feeds on social media platforms. What began as a passing remark became the headline of the day, a fragment stripped of tone and context but rich with potential for speculation. Fans who had cherished the magic of Li Xian and Yongzi on screen felt an immediate pang of disappointment. To them, it sounded like a door being closed on a partnership that had once set hearts racing. The chemistry they had brought to life in beloved dramas was not just acting, it was a shared experience, a kind of cinematic companionship that audiences wanted to see again and again. Hearing even a suggestion of refusal was like watching a favorite melody cut short before its final note. Yet at the same time, others interpreted his words differently. For those who follow the industry more closely, Li Xian's comment carried the weight of an artist longing to step outside of expectations, to challenge himself beyond the formulas that guarantee success. To them, it was not rejection but courage, not coldness but a declaration that true artistry cannot be confined to repetition. The spark that spread across the internet was not simply about one actor's decision. It was about what audiences project onto their idols, the yearning for familiarity, the comfort of what once worked, the desire to see beloved faces together again. In that moment, Li Xian became more than an actor. He became a mirror for his fans' own struggles between holding on and letting go. And as debates raged, the story stopped being about a casual remark and turned into a question that touches every life. Do we cling to what feels safe, or do we dare to step into the unknown? The uproar that followed Li Xian's remark was swift and fierce, but perhaps the most revealing part was not the words themselves, but the way they were interpreted. For many fans, his comment was devastating. They had built an emotional attachment not only to the characters Li Xian and Yongzi once portrayed together, but also to the idea of their enduring partnership. To them, watching the two side by side was more than entertainment. It was comfort, familiarity, and the spark of a bond that seemed to transcend the screen. The thought of never seeing that chemistry again felt like a betrayal of their hopes, as though something precious had been taken away before it had a chance to flourish fully. And yet, for others, his words resonated in a completely different way. Instead of hearing rejection, they heard bravery. They recognized in Li Xian's hesitation the heart of an artist unwilling to be confined by repetition. It takes courage to step away from formulas that guarantee applause, to resist the temptation of safety in favor of growth, and to risk disappointing the very people whose love sustains you. In that light, his refusal became not an insult to Yongzi but a declaration of independence, a promise to his craft that he would not settle for the easy path. The storm of reactions revealed something larger about the relationship between celebrities and the public. We often forget that actors are not merely vessels for our fantasies, but individuals navigating their own journeys of evolution and self-discovery. When we see two stars who once lit up the screen together, our instinct is to cling to that memory, to demand more of the same, as though art should be frozen in the moment we loved it most. But life and artistry are not static. They flow, they shift, they demand reinvention. So what appeared to be a small piece of drama between two stars was, in truth, a mirror held up to the audience. It asked us to confront our own relationship with change and continuity. Do we insist that beauty remain exactly as it was, or can we accept that its power lies in its impermanence? The deeper truth hidden in the uproar was that Li Xian's so-called refusal was not a fracture in a partnership, but a reminder that growth often requires the courage to leave behind even the things we once loved most. When the storm of speculation reached its height, all eyes turned to Yongzi. Fans waited for a rebuttal, for a denial, or perhaps even for an accusation. In the heat of such public frenzy, It would have been easy for her to respond defensively, to protect her image, or to let hurt pride guide her words. Yet what she chose to do instead revealed the quiet strength that has always defined her. With a calmness that contrasted sharply with the noise surrounding her, she spoke simply, "If I am not strict, how can we deliver complex roles properly?" With those words, she shifted the conversation away from gossip and back toward the heart of her craft. Her response was not only a defense of her working style, but also a lesson in integrity. Yang Zi reminded the public that what some might perceive as severity is, in truth, a commitment to excellence. To demand more from herself and her co-stars is not a sign of coldness, but of responsibility. The responsibility to honor every character, every scene, and every story with the authenticity it deserves. In a world where shortcuts and compromises are common, she stood firm in her belief that artistry must be protected, even if that protection is sometimes misunderstood as harshness. What made her answer even more remarkable was its generosity. She did not diminish Li Xian, nor did she shift blame onto him. Instead, she chose to frame her standards as part of a shared mission, a way of uplifting both herself and her partners on set. In doing so, she shielded him from the sharp edge of criticism, redirecting the narrative to a place where professionalism and mutual respect mattered more than rumors of conflict. Her words carried both wisdom and compassion, and they demonstrated a profound understanding of what it means to collaborate in an industry that thrives on both creativity and pressure. For the audience, her response became more than a clarification, it became an inspiration. It revealed the possibility of transforming tension into growth, of meeting misunderstanding not with defensiveness but with grace. In her measured reply, Yang Zi showed that strength is not only about demanding high standards, but also about choosing empathy in the face of controversy. And in that moment, she reminded everyone that the truest form of leadership is not loud or forceful, but steady, dignified, and rooted in respect for both the craft and the people who bring it to life. Here we see two forces at play. Courage, Li Xian's decision to resist being typecast, to choose the uncertainty of growth over the comfort of repetition. Empathy, Yang Zi's choice to respond with grace, protecting not only herself but also her colleague, while reminding the world that excellence comes from high standards. Fans may disagree. Some crave the return of their on-screen magic. Others celebrate the bravery of moving on. Yet both reactions are rooted in love, love for the actors, love for their work, love for the stories they create. This tension, between longing and evolution, is what makes the entertainment world so magnetic. But let's add something new here. Imagine if this refusal is not an ending, but a pause. A chance for both actors to grow in different directions, to sharpen their tools, to bring richer, deeper experiences back to the screen one day. Think of it like music. Sometimes a duet becomes even more powerful after years apart, when both artists return with new voices, new emotions, new depths. Li Xian's no may feel like a closed door, but perhaps it is simply a reset button, an invitation to anticipate something even greater in the future. And beyond the entertainment headlines, their story mirrors our own lives. How often do we cling to the safe and familiar, even when we know growth requires change? How often do we misjudge strictness as coldness, when in fact it's the backbone of excellence? Li Xian teaches us that sometimes courage means saying no. Yang Zi teaches us that maturity means choosing understanding over conflict. Together, they remind us that real bonds are built not on constant presence, but on lasting respect.
So, will Li Xian and Yang Zi collaborate again?
No one can predict. But one thing is certain, their choices today are shaping the brilliance of tomorrow. Thank you for watching News Stars CN. If this story inspired you, touched your heart, or even made you reflect on your own journey, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Join our community where every headline becomes a deeper story, every drama becomes a lesson, and every star reveals a new angle. Stay tuned, because the next story might just change the way you see the world.